Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year. Welcome back. Once again, my name is Alexander Aflalo and I'll be your host. And this is The Conservative Investor, where I show you how to grow your wealth and manage your own money yourself. You should know how to manage and grow your own money. And again, this is not professional financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion. If you want professional stock advice and financial advice, seek a professional. So I wanted to talk about a few things today, a few things I saw in the market, in the store, doing some research, and also just surfing the interwebs, seeing what we had going on. I'm going to talk about Celsius brands, the energy drink brand. Also going to be talking about Joby, the air taxi. We're talking about silver. So starting off here, I would like to show you our little proof of concept. I was talking about gaps in your stock chart last week. I was talking about Celsius brands, this guy right here, and how there was a big gap. There's a big gap in the price. It gapped down a lot. The price dropped from the high 50s to the low 40s or so. That, combined with all the simple moving averages starting to converge, makes me think, and its popularity in the market, endorsement by people in the media, including Theo Vaughn, that I think is probably going to shoot back up, and that gap's going to close. And I just wanted to show you a little proof of concept here for what I mean about the gaps closing. So here's Rocket Lab, another company that I have that has shot up a lot recently. We have a little gap that is formed right there, and it gapped up. It had a high on that day. The high price was $62.56, and it gapped up to $63. We call that a gap when there's a discrepancy in price. There's no connection there from 62.50 to 63.65. Pretty small gap. And it closes right over here, where it closes that gap around 67. Bridges that gap. Only first it gapped down, but. And we have another gap recently, right over here. It jumped up from 70.56 to 72.75. It's more than a $2 jump on that day, and that gap filled. So the gap was 70.56, finished at 69, so it closed the gap. So that is the same sort of thing that I'm expecting to happen with Celsius here. I believe it's going to gap up. And it's not just because gaps close, it's because it's a strong company, everyone loves it, and it's probably gonna gap up because of that. And here's just some more examples of my reasoning. I was talking about Central Market the other day. I have an H-E-B right next to my house, but every once in a while I go to Central Market. It's one of the biggest grocery stores in Texas. I mean, it's owned by H-E-B. H-E-B is one of the biggest grocery stores in Texas. And I mentioned in the last video how there is a huge freaking, like, Celsius section almost right at the front at, what do you call it, at Central Market. Here's that picture right there. Now, there's a few things you can learn from this picture. I'll give you a second to come up with some answers of your own. But basically, what do you see? 25% off. You might think, oh, they're trying to get rid of it. Maybe they're not selling that well. It's like, okay, well, this is the only real section that has kind of that type of energy drink, and they're all on sale. And here's the other thing, the Celsius, even though it's towards the bottom, big gaps in there. It's selling out. Everyone's buying it. There's some gaps in some of these, but I mean, what, Bum Energy and Goat Fuel doesn't really seem to be moving. Only competition seems to be Uptime Energy, the second from the top there. But what I read from this is even though Celsius has not been, they didn't stock it at eye level. You know, people had to look for it. They had to bend down and look for Celsius. And even though they had to go down and look for it, it's all selling out. So what I think the psychology behind that is, the guys running the store, running Central Market, realize that everyone's going to buy Celsius. Everyone loves it. Celsius, is my voice going. Everyone loves Celsius. Everyone's going to seek it out and buy it anyway. So they just put it towards the bottom. And they're going to put the newcomers, the small fries, towards the top, try to give them a fighting chance. Now here's what I mean. If you do just a quick Google search, so Uptime Energy revenue, annual revenue of only $22 million or so. What was my other one here? Goat Fuel, only about 10 million. Bum Energy, I couldn't find any numbers because it's just not privately. I mean, they're all privately owned companies. But from what I understand, Bum Energy is also pretty small. 10 million, 22 million. And then freaking Celsius is over $1 billion. Where's my chart on that? Get these freaking ads out of here. $1.3 billion. And even if you split that number in half, Alani Nu is in the hundreds of millions. So they're orders of magnitude. Celsius brands and Alani Nu, one company, are orders of magnitude bigger than those other options. So all those technicals we see on the charts, plus what we see in the stores, plus the revenue data, that stock price is going to shoot up again sometime soon. So that's my research on that. Next sucker we going to look at. You know what? Let's look at silver. Okay? So apparently the Chinese government has decided that they're going to engage in a trade war in the same way that we engage in trade wars with tariffs with them. I don't know if it's retaliation. This is just the way the world works. We have finite resources, and you can either fight straight up wars with each other, or you have trade wars. And these little trade wars happen all the time. If you're not paying attention to them, you won't notice them. Why is silver important? Silver is important to AI. Silver is important to tech. That's what I was mentioning in one of my other videos. If you want to invest in AI, invest in copper. I invested in a copper mining company. Now, silver has been up a stupid amount. Copper is adjacent to AI in the sense that you need copper to run electric generators that run the data centers that the AI uses to do their computations. Silver is actually used in the microchips themselves. And it's not just in the microchips for these AI stuff. It's in microchips for everything. And silver is just in electronics. There's silver in your computer, in your phone, and everything. So China trying to control precious, rare earth metals, that's a serious deal. And it has affected stocks in the past year. These are up over 100%, 200%. These are silver mining companies. Meteoric rises in stock price because the price of silver has gone up exponentially. And I subscribe. I don't think I pay anything for this membership, but Seeking Alpha, I don't know what the heck that means, but I get some stock news every once in a while from these guys. Silver, get out now. Yeah, it's extremely overinflated because they had that huge 100%, 200% run up in stock price. Extremely overinflated. The RSIs of some of these companies are also probably way up there. You can also look at the PE ratio. The PE ratios of some of these guys. Like if you really want to know which company is going to tank, which company is going to tank first, is saying, silver, get out of the companies now. This is where you hear people talking about shorting a stock. I forget if it's puts or calls, whatever the one where you're betting that it's going to fall. This is where you would do it. And if you really want to know, you look at the PE ratio. So they've all had a huge meteoric run up. The PE ratio here, where it says like 63 times, 19 times, 30 times, That's the price to earnings ratio. Basically, the price versus earnings, as in the price of the stock is what multiple of the earnings of the actual company. So whatever, just how overinflated the stock price is and is ready to pop. Between Hecla Mining Company, Pan American Silver, and AG, it looks like it's going to be AG. This is between AG and Hecla. 63 and where's my, yeah, 138 times. 138 times overinflated. Which makes sense because it's over $50 a share right now. Crazy. And I actually I had Pan American Silver, but I sold it so I could buy Rocket Lab, I think, which had a big run up, so I was happy with that. So yeah. It's overinflated, but it might keep rising because this news about China is brand spanking new. So you see how overinflated silver prices are? They might keep going higher. When it tanks, it'll tank hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for it to tank, and when it tanks, I'll pick the strongest company and buy some of that when the prices are normalized again. If you want to look at stock options, you do you. You could do that too. The next thing I'm going to look at today is Joby. So Joby is an air taxi. It's a freaking air taxi, and they're trying to bring air taxis to the masses, bring us to the freaking Jetsons. I invest in Archer and Joby. Joby seems to be doing better so far, developing 25 new vertiports across the U.S. They're planning to double their manufacturing capacity. I think they have contracts in the UAE, Dubai, somewhere in the Middle East as well. So they're doing quite well. And if we take a look at their, take a look at their stock chart real quick, they are on their way down. But like I've mentioned before, so all those simple moving averages are starting to converge. Simple moving averages are converging. The RSI is pretty low. The press is good. The news is good. When the press is looking good, it'll probably pop up soon. If I had any extra money, I'd probably be putting money into Joby. I'd be getting ready to deploy some money in silver when that bubble pops. And maybe getting more Celsius. So yeah, that's my update for today. Happy New Year. See you on the next one.